Afrobeat, Bitcoin, you know.
We do have a public tool that accepts sats.
Let's go pay to P. Do you have lots of people paying in Bitcoin? We have 20 customers paying in Bitcoin. And this is the river, I guess. Sanitation's a bit of a challenge because, yeah, it doesn't smell great either, as you can imagine.
With Bitcoin, it's a win-win. Yeah, it's a lose-lose.
It's under $1.
Nice.
This is Africa's largest slum, Kibera. I visited this vast, informal settlement much like Barack Obama, Madonna, 50 Cent and Jill Biden, hence the nickname, the Hollywood of slums. But while celebs and YouTubers come for photo opportunities or thumbnails, I'm here to investigate a digital currency you probably associate with billionaires. You know, Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, Michael Saylor, even the Donald.
Never sell your Bitcoin. Who the hell knows, right?
I mean, you probably don't think that Bitcoin is for street vendors in Nairobi.
Can I pay in Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's a Bitcoin.
In this film, I'll show you the other side of the coin, that in one of the poorest parts of the planet, Bitcoin is money.
Good morning, my name is Mitch from Kibera, representing Afrobeat Kibera. Welcome to the Afrobeat. This is where Bitcoin matters.
And I'll explain why many people here in Kenya were left behind by M-Pesa and big banks. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at why Bitcoin could be the key to unlocking aid, empowerment, and even tackling predatory practices. But first, it was actually quite a long drive to the slum, so I spent generational Bitcoin wealth on something we all do every day.
We have a public toilet where you guys can pay in sats.
Ah, perfect. Let's go to the public toilet first.
But we do have a public tool that accepts sats.
Let's go. We're going to pay to P in sats.
Apparently there's a place that accepts Bitcoin for a toilet. A world first, a world exclusive, paying in Bitcoin to P. There's definitely an irony in there being a disabled loo, but to get to the disabled loo, you have to climb a flight of steps.
This is where we normally do our merchants training and meetups. When we first approach them, we explain like to them who we are and what we do, and that is when we get a chance to convince them like to also receive payments in sats.
I'm going to pay to P now. What was your name again? Tabby. So Tabby, could you generate an invoice for me? So I scan that, and you can see that it comes up with 391 sats, which is, as you know, 50 shillings. But that in my currency from the UK, it's 31 pence. So I tap pay, and you received it instantly. So thank you very much for letting me use your washroom. Yes, even the toilets in Kibera are Bitcoin friendly. Or maybe it's shitcoin friendly in this context. Anyway, I've spent the past 7 years documenting and investigating Bitcoin's real-world impact. From the sandy streets of Senegal, to the coasts of Cape Verde and Cuba, to the circular economies of Ghana, up to the Andes in Peru. Basically, I love finding the curious places and charming communities where Bitcoin as money is taking root. If you like that kind of thing, please hit subscribe. I'm independent, so it really means a lot. Go on. Hit subscribe. Okay, back to Kibera.
So this street is like the main thoroughfare in Kibera, and you've got everything from trucks to cars to loads of people all going about their day. So it's a great place for people to accept Bitcoin. And this is the flagship, the first place to accept Bitcoin.
Yes.
Is the first one, right, Mitch?
Yeah, this is the first Bitcoin shop in Kibera that is run with my wife, Stephanie.
Nice.
And she was the first person ever to receive Bitcoin payment in Kibera.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
What a moment. If you're looking for the Astana-Chelsea game, it's going to be on here tonight, and you can pay in Bitcoin. It's like the pub.
Before we take a Bitcoin tour of Kibera, let me colour you in some stats and some context. Kibera is massive. It's about 3/4 of New York Central Park, but where Central Park houses just 129 people, apparently, 250,000 people live in Kibera. And that's just an estimate, because a lot of it is undocumented, of course.
Here, ideally, this community should not be here. They come to look for work, because again, industries are not decentralized to the rural areas. Everything is sort of concentrated here. But because the life is really expensive, they end up forming these informal settlements where they call a home, because the apartments are prohibitively expensive for the income bracket.
Kenya uses the shilling, but you can also use the dollar, as you can in most parts of Africa. And the shilling is actually losing purchasing power, admittedly not as fast as its neighboring currencies, but when measured in Bitcoin, the Kenyan shilling has already hyperinflated. Corruption in Kenya is systemic, sadly, which makes large-scale or deep change quite difficult. Kenya ranks 121st out of 180 on the Transparency Index, and a fun fact, Kenyan politicians are among the highest paid in the world relative to GDP per capita.
Kenyans will be even in a deeper shit. Oh no, that is not parliamentary. I'm sorry.
Bitcoin, by contrast, is hard money. It is the most transparent thing to audit, and it lets small, local experiments like this one in Kibera flourish.
Can I have some chips?
Yeah, you can have some chips and conveniently pay in sats.
So I think it's 5 bags of chips.
5 bags of chips, yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah. We also have fish.
Yeah?
Yeah, for lunch, you can see somebody has ordered for fish. And the person, if he has sats or something, you can conveniently pay with the sats and have this fish and ugali.
Does this place accept Bitcoin as well?
Yeah, there is the QR code.
Do you want a drink?
Yeah, I would actually. Do you think?
Yeah, we have in our language, we call them kangumu. They are like donuts, but a little bit hard.
Can I have 2 of these, please? Can I pay in Bitcoin?
Yeah, accept Bitcoin.
Nice.
Why do those merchants accept Bitcoin? How did Bitcoin begin to circulate? Kibera's Bitcoin story began with Boda motorcyclists. Boda?
Boda Boda?
Yeah, Boda.
Boda, the trusted service riders of the community.
Apart from that, we have like 23 Boda people. These are people who can give you a ride and pay in Bitcoin conveniently.
Is that these motorbike guys?
Yeah, motorbike guys, yeah.
The key was trust. Mitch and his mentor Ronnie are rooted in Kibera.
The key thing is that you already had trust within this community.
Yes, that was the fundamental thing, because without trust, it wasn't going to be easy. And apart from that, anytime we had a sort of event in the community, we could figure out a way to relate it with something to do with Bitcoin. So in the small events, they could start hearing the word like Bitcoin.
Mitch and his team are Bitcoin obsessed. He even wrote the backing track I've used across this film. It's actually really good. One of Afrobit's smartest ideas was to pay the youth in sats for waste collection and recycling. And I actually saw one of the upgraded bins, and it was much better, but it made you realize just how bad the past bin would have been. You had the waste being collected by the youth, then it's sorted, it's sold, and they're paid for that work in Bitcoin.
A team of young men and women who are part of a waste collection group go door to door collecting garbage from the area residents. The group charges a waste collection fee for their services. Some of the residents pay the fee using the cryptocurrency Bitcoin.
It's a great way to earn Bitcoin and to then help that circulate through the community by doing something that every community in the world needs: waste collection, waste sorting. Workers get paid instantly and at a very, very low fee. It's basically nothing. Then these workers can spend locally at Bitcoin-enabled merchants. So that keeps the value in the neighborhood and it isn't extracted, for example, to big corporations.
Do you have lots of people paying in Bitcoin? Really? He was your first customer? Yeah. And do you have more customers? We have 20 customers paying in Bitcoin.
However, it's not always smooth sailing with Bitcoin payments in Kibera.
Yeah, can I come in?
Bitcoin lives on the internet, and this shopkeeper ran out of internet data. So Mitch gave her a hotspot to receive Bitcoin.
I'm going to pay for my banana. I'm scanning here. There we go, it's sent. Did you receive it to your phone as well?
Let me hotspot her.
That's not ideal though, but internet is still relatively expensive and Kenyans sometimes buy internet by the hour.
Do you buy internet per day or per week? How does it work?
Sometimes buy for 50 and I don't know.
50 what? 50 shillings?
50 shillings.
So you can buy 50 shillings worth of internet?
Yeah.
And how much does that get you? Is it 10 megabytes or something?
No, that one is like for only 3 hours.
So 3 hours of internet?
Yeah.
So interesting.
Fortunately, there is a local solution.
So if I switch off, let me switch off my hotspot. There is a community internet. This is a TP link. This is not my hotspot, but she's connected, though sometimes it's weak, yeah?
So where is the Wi-Fi box for here?
The other merchant that we were just there, yeah, he has like an internet or something.
Okay.
So again, the community clubs together to solve a local problem. Speaking of local problems,
Yeah? Thank you. You're welcome, man.
once upon a time, M-Pesa let anyone with a Kenyan phone number pay
anyone anywhere with no bank account needed, just airtime. It truly was revolutionary. Anywhere you see a pay bill sign like this, you can technically pay in Bitcoin via M-Pesa, and like literally everywhere accepts M-Pesa in Kenya. Just gonna make that point one more time. I've walked another, 5 minutes? There's another M-Pesa stand. It's literally everywhere. There's one here, and then look, over my left shoulder, M-Pesa is literally everywhere. Street corners, street vendors, restaurants, cafes, bars, you name it. Basically, they're all on M-Pesa, and you can also send money to people's phones with M-Pesa. But now you can use Bitcoin instead. We'll find out more about Bitcoin and M-Pesa a little later. So in 2016, heavy KYC rules arrived. KYC is know your customer, and it's what banks and pretty much anything nowadays uses, and it's rubbish. But basically, in 2016 in Kenya, the Kenyans had to provide a proof of address, an ID, and of course, they needed to be able to read or write in a country where literacy isn't necessarily a given. So, overnight, many Kenyans and East Africans without papers, Somalians, Ugandans, Congolese, they could be refugees, they were locked out of this digital money revolution because of these government-mandated KYC requirements. Bottom line here is that many Kenyans became cash-only citizens, which means greater risk of theft, and of course zero access to easy, instant transfers. The M-Pesa revolution I spoke of. On top of that, lots of Kiberans and Kenyans live outside the formal economy, and they were shut out from these regulated financial services, and therefore exposed to informal moneylenders and the sadly ubiquitous betting shops of Kibera. Awful stuff. Another betting shop. Betting shops in Kibera are actually everywhere, and one Boda rider nailed the contrast. Do you guys go to the betting shop a lot? You like to gamble? Yeah? Yeah. Do you win or do you lose? Mostly we lose. Mostly we lose, yeah.
Because with Bitcoin, it's a win-win. Here, it's a lose-lose.
Thank you for your time. Do you have your wallet on you? Can I tip you just to say thank you for the interview?
Yeah.
Thanks, boss. Bitcoin, however, requires no KYC. That means that with a basic phone and a Lightning wallet, and no date of birth or literacy information or anything of that, you can receive Bitcoin instantly. You can save against inflation, and you can pay merchants directly. It bridges the gap left by banks and M-Pesa. And you can see for yourself and try out Bitcoin right now by scanning this QR code from BitKit wallet. The first 21 people to scan the QR code will retrieve free Bitcoin in their brand new BitKit wallet. Thank you, BitKit. If you are brand new to Bitcoin, then check out my show sponsor and a totally free resource called Plan B Network. Plan B Network is the best online resource for learning about Bitcoin. For example, if you go to planb.network and click courses, you can start your Bitcoin journey right now. Give it a go. Thank you to Plan B Network. Right, back to Kibera. But do people actually use Bitcoin here? Let's find out.
How many people pay in Bitcoin? You're saying at least 5 people? So per day can be at least 2? Yeah.
I'm just going to ask how many people pay in Bitcoin, sort of weekly or monthly or?
Weekly, like 20.
20?
20 to 30.
20 to 30 people are paying in Bitcoin.
Because these are mini shops.
Thanks, buddy. Can I pay in Bitcoin?
Yeah, accept.
So how many people pay in Bitcoin?
It's new, but some buy.
Thing, it's raw organic honey. And do you have lots of people paying in Bitcoin here, or how many do you think?
People are just learning about it, and so for the waste management, that has to the social responsibility for this shop. We're paying people with Bitcoin.
Okay. And I couldn't help myself. I also try to help merchants myself and try to show them how to get started with Bitcoin. Do people pay in Bitcoin here?
Yes, we accept Bitcoins.
Yeah?
Yeah, but we are few. There are few people who are using Bitcoin here.
Okay, yeah.
So it's very scarce.
Very scarce. Do you have a bank account?
I had one, but it was locked because my savings were not that good.
Oh, really? Did you know that you can use Bitcoin with M-Pesa?
No, I haven't been taught how to use it yet.
I'll show you.
Yeah, show me.
Yeah, do you have the Play Store on your phone? I'm going to show the lady how to use Tando. Now, if a shop only takes M-Pesa, then there's actually a really clever Bitcoin workaround, and it's called Tando, and it kind of speaks to M-Pesa with Bitcoin technology. I interviewed the co-founders of Tando in Nairobi. Sabina explains.
So we're making Bitcoin accessible and practical for everyday use here in Kenya by allowing anyone who lives in Kenya or who comes to Kenya to spend their sats anywhere M-Pesa is accepted.
In effect, you pay with Bitcoin, Tando pays the merchant with M-Pesa, so it's not like pure peer-to-peer,
but it works today and it opens minds, which is pretty cool. Also, Mitch definitely showed the nice lady how to use Bitcoin with Tando and M-Pesa. It wasn't me.
Kibera is kind of essentially our pilot to be able to prove out all the things that we're envisioning with the roadmap to build out a full circular economy.
This is Yogi and Ronnie, co-founders of Afrobeat, the NGO behind the build-out of a Bitcoin circular economy in Kibera. Now, Afrobeat's work is actually very similar to that of the NGO called Motive in Peru. If you know my work, you'll know that Motive is also experimenting with Bitcoin as a tool for empowerment and transparency in dozens of slums and young towns across Peru.
The merchants are the central focus for us. We need to empower them. So they need education, they need tools, just being able to grow their business and being comfortable with Bitcoin.
And you can see it on the map as well. There are now more than 60 Bitcoin merchants in Kibera. That's amazing. You can verify it yourself on btcmap.org. So download BTC Map today. It is a great way to support Bitcoin worldwide.
Yeah, then you will find also like the ladies now are starting to orange peel others likely outside Kibera. So that is the kind of sort of thing that has been happening on the ground, in the background.
And you too, dear viewer, can do a Bitcoin tour of Kibera today. Can Bitcoiners do tours similar to what we did last week with Bitcoin?
Absolutely, yes. It's sort of the vision behind the informal settlement tours was to bring exposure to the initiatives that were happening in the communities. There was so much talent there.
So Kibera began as a railway workers' settlement in the early 20th century, and it grew as rural Kenyans moved to the city for work. But without formal housing or paperwork, families built tin-roofed homes on public land, and the vast, sprawling Kibera settlement as it's known today was born. Sats now move from street food to salons to social hubs. These are really small transactions, but big proof that Bitcoin loop is forming. So maybe it's on Bitcoin to bridge the gap that banks and mobile money can't.
I hope you're proud of yourself. Yeah, I'm very, very proud.
I hope this short film shows that Bitcoin isn't just some get-rich asset for the billionaires. Bitcoin is simply a much better monetary system. Unlike the fiat money we all use every day, Bitcoin does not discriminate, it cannot be stopped, and it keeps its value over time. Bitcoin is a money that NGOs, Kenyans, and average Joes like me can use to live better lives. I know I'll be back in Kibera soon. And with so much talent in the slum, Kibera could go from the Hollywood of slums to the Hollywood of Kenya. To donate to Afrobit, scan this QR code or visit afrobit.africa. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and check the above link to see how Bitcoin is changing the world today. Thanks so much.